The last thing I want to add to this is, Will, if you're not willing to accept feedback from the people you date, why are you dating them?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Wait a second, sir.
Okay,
You
so I
gotta,
didn't
you
want to
gotta.
go down. Look.
No, no,
You
no,
got
no,
to
no. It's
give
okay.
a
I can be
2 minute
real quick.
response, but that's
I,
we
I
because
no,
I'm
no,
So yes, it's just
no. This is
I didn't
simple. This
want
is simple.
a
This is simple. Quick
dissertation.
response. You first have to quantify dating someone, like actively dating them, or just go on a date with
Yeah,
It
someone.
should be
I,
both.
no, sir. I'm not going to take no feedback from a woman I went out on one date with.
that's fair.
Zero feedback.
That's
But if
fair.
it's a woman I'm dating, I'll take feedback from her.
Sure.
That's fair.
Sure.
I don't disagree with that at all.
Y'all
And
have
then
yourselves. Y'all have yourselves a
dating,
lovely evening. Hey, Mr. Maroon, I saw your comment once upon a time, and sir, I want to get in the ring and have our verbal joust session. So
Hey,
you let me know when you ready to catch
I would
these.
love to see
hold on,
that.
hold on. I'll say
Look,
this. I'll say this.
oh,
Will,
she
what
just
was it?
she
I
critiqued.
don't know. I don't know, but I'll say this. There was a video of Will where I typically don't agree with you, but I think there was a video. I forget what the topic was, and I was like, "Yo, Will, I agree with Will on this."
It's cool. I'm okay with disagreements. I like
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
It promotes
I
healthy
feel like
dialogue.
I agree with
hey,
you a lot on this panel, and I wasn't expecting that.
yeah. I appreciate you for joining the panel. I'm about
I
to.
was surprised too. I don't think there are a few things that you say that I agree with. Some things you don't, but today was.
Well, let me leave y'all with this. I
He's
promise
very
y'all,
careful with his
okay?
choice
I'm
of
gonna
words.
promise all 5 of y'all this. If y'all stop cutting me off, which if I'm long-winded, I get it. People interject, and that's fair. I'm not saying y'all gotta just let me run the things the way I want to run it. But if y'all stop cutting me off, and if y'all are confused by something, y'all ask me a question. I
Tried that.
promise y'all I will land the plane. And I'm pretty sure y'all will probably lean more towards me than against me. That doesn't
Then
mean you're gonna
Will,
agree every time.
I will ask you
will you
something
take
too. If
tips?
you
Will you
don't
take, oh,
understand something, don't just say we're not answering your question, because in our head we are. You might have to ask more questions to get clarification from us.
That's not true, Di. If I ask you, hey, Di, are you in that chair or are you standing up? That's something you can answer. I ask very black and white questions.
No, because
I don't
Will,
ask
No, you
I
you.
answered
don't.
your
No, you
question
don't.
earlier. I definitely did, and I was listening to the point
Okay,
where I can
y'all.
even
So
repeat that. I had to
we're
because
not
I was
gonna argue
listening.
about that.
I was
Um.
like,
well,
I'm
So
sorry.
I don't want to argue.
I
Just
was
real quick
listening to
with
that.
Miss Sam. Just real quick. Uh, I think, and I know you do it intentionally, Will. But if you led with the premise of your question, I think most of your questions would actually get answered directly. Because I see a lot of the times when I'm listening to you, I'm like,
does the lead
oh, he said they ass up, and and you
I ain't
set him
gonna
up.
lie, it's entertaining though.
But
It
but
keeps
It
but
is entertaining. I ain't even
but,
gonna cap.
but AP.
it's just not entertaining when you're part
What
of
was
it.
my answer to the so-called complicated question? It was take initiative. How was that question so complicated? If
I
you
don't even
want
know what y'all
something,
talking about.
it's your Miss Shan. We sorry. We having a healthy dialogue. We may be a little chaotic right now, but guess what? Nobody
This
being
is chic
disrespectful.
receipt,
Ain't
okay?
nobody being rude. This is a rare occasion. So look, Miss Di, Mr. Maroon, Miss Shan, Mr. AP, Miss Taken, or I should say Miss Taken, because Miss is already in there. Miss Taken. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I challenge y'all. I challenge y'all. Hold, take a tally marker, and every time I ask a question, find out how often people answer the question or respond to me with a clarifying question to make sure they understand what I'm saying. And then make these assumptions. Don't just say, "Oh, if you lead with this." No, just pay attention. Keep a notepad and pen and tally it. And I'll hold myself accountable. And I'll change AP. If I'm getting 10 people telling me the same thing, sir, I'll change. On
No,
that
Will,
note,
I can
I
honestly
got your
say that
back.
when I go to toe
I
with
just say
Will,
one
I would
thing?
answer his question
Hold on.
directly, and if I answer his question directly, he'd be like, "Okay."
I
He'll leave
got
it.
you,
He'll
Will.
leave it.
I'm gonna
He'll
say,
leave it.
Will, is
He'll
that
leave it.
sometimes so
He'll leave it.
communication goes both ways. It's on the person who's speaking to be clear, and then the person that's listening to understand, right? So in this situation, I know you're saying, you use the example of 10 people, but in this particular situation, we have 6 people on the panel. You asked a question. 4, because I'm gonna say AP doesn't count because he wasn't, involved in the question. So I'm gonna say, so if 4 out of the 5, 4 out of the, I'm gonna say 5 people did not comprehend or take the question or answer the question in the way that you asked, then at that point, it falls on you to clarify that if everyone got it wrong. And
Yeah,
you're
and I
saying
was
asking a direct question is easy to answer, just answer it. That doesn't clarify it when everybody's giving you the
I agree
answer.
with you. I agree with you. Now, here's the thing, though, Miss Taken. I didn't want to just give y'all the answer. I wanted y'all to think about it, because the reality was we started off by talking about a blueprint. And I was saying people should have a blueprint today. But because we don't have a blueprint for this, everybody's just willy-nilly doing about it the way they see fit. And women want an outcome, but they want someone else to provide that outcome. But y'all don't do that nowhere else in y'all lives. Do y'all wait on someone to provide the outcome that you want? Only in marriage. That's the only time you sit back and you're like, it's his job to propose. Well, maybe if he didn't propose, it's probably because you're not propose worthy.
Wow.
But people
That's a
don't
good thing. I like it.
conversation.
I
Or he
agree.
might not be ready.
No, stop. See,
No,
That
and
was
Will,
good.
no, I'm
That
glad
was
you
good.
ended with
With
that since we finna wrap it up, because honestly, that's what I kind of wanted to talk about today. Like, when I talk to my friends about, like, they look at my relationship and they like, how did y'all get from here to here? How did he take your opinion? How did you take his? How did you see it from his point of view? And how did you see it from, and vice versa? And I tell them it didn't look pretty. And I'm not even married. It didn't look pretty, but me and him, we want marriage. We feel like it's like at the end of the day, you have to find the person that's worth it. And I think oftentimes that people, especially when they get to a certain growth point, they want it to look a certain way, they want it to feel a certain way, and they just have their own expectations. But that's why faith is the substance of things hoped for, but the evidence of things not seen. My faith have no limits when it comes to finding love or being married. So I do feel like a lot of people really don't understand what comes with being married, because when I have to tell my friends and coach them, like when Will said, if you have a blueprint, can you share with your peers, and can they get the same results? That's what I've been doing. And my peers, they have been getting the same results. And even though it looked ugly, and even though as a woman, I felt like, dang, this is unfair to me. But then I'm like, I'm not too good to endure like that I shouldn't be thinking of it like that. You know what I'm saying? Because my feeling of enduring what I do to him, he feel the same way. Even though the actions aren't the same, the emotions that I'm evoking out of him as we're going through this process, it's the same thing and it's the same feeling, and we're both enduring. It's just we show it more. It's just a lot of men don't tend to show it. So I do agree with you, Will. Like, a lot of women do have to understand, like, hey, sometimes our role look like this and sometimes their role look like this, but we in this together. It's us against the problem, and as long as we keep it that way, we can get somewhere.
Little cat nugget I'll give you. If you women stop saying most men aren't like this, most men aren't like that, you only need one. Who cares if most men aren't a particular way? Find the one, be something, and attract the one. But because women don't prioritize that, they want all the men who entertain them to be marriage minded, be responsible. No, learn how to weed out. But on that note, y'all, I'll talk to y'all later.
Have a good night.
Peace out.
Good chat.
All right, y'all. Good night.
Good night, Will. I like this. She critique got a whole different feeling to hear. Good
Listen,
job,
that
man.
went somewhere. Now y'all lost me about an hour ago.
Yeah. I think it sprouted legs. It changed. The questions kind of morphed.